Hi there, welcome to my new show, Loco for Leeds. Here we'll be talking about all things Leeds United and a great win on Tuesday night, wasn't it? Really good to see the lads come back from a couple of goals down, and hopefully we can get a win on Saturday against Wigan. Now, as it's the first video, I'm going to do something slightly different, and I'm going to go for something that is probably people have probably done it before, but this is my kind of take on it, and it's the Leeds 11 that are playing in the Premier League now. So it's ex-Leeds players playing in the Premier League. So let's get straight into it. In goal, there's a few goalkeepers around in the Premier League at the moment that have played for Leeds. But I'm going to go with Kasper Schmeichel, who he signed for us, I think, from Notts County, and he was only one season with us. I think it was our first year in the Championship. We finished 7th. He did okay. Then he went on to Leicester, obviously, win the league. Played in the Champions League. Looks like he'll be playing in the Champions League again next season, all being well. And yeah, he was, he was good for us, I thought, and he's obviously gone on from there to do good things and do very well. On the left side of the defence, I've gone with Charlie Taylor, and Charlie Taylor, obviously a product of the academy, wasn't he? And he was very good. He was very good when he was at Leeds. I remember being at that game. He made his debut against Palace. I think it was the 12-13 season maybe, and we didn't hear from him for quite a long time then, and he seemed to be out of the team, and then he came back into the team, and yeah, he did pretty well. Was obviously a fan's favourite, being from the academy. Obviously then he went on to sign for Burnley in the summer of 2017, and he's been there now. This is his third season with Burnley. I think he had a bad injury which kept him out for a long period of time last season, but the season before. But I think last season he really got into the Burnley team and has proved himself to be quite a solid defender there. And in the middle of the defence, I've gone with James Milner. Now it's a bit of a strange choice, I'd say, for to put him in the centre back position, but he's a versatile player, isn't he? And so I've gone with him there. And obviously again, he was an academy product of Leeds, youngest scorer in the Premier League, I think, for a good number of years, when he scored against Sunderland. And obviously from there he went to he's gone on to play numerous times in the Premier League, won a few Premier League titles with City, and he's obviously looking like he's pretty much nailed on to get another one there with Liverpool this year. Obviously Champions League winner now as well with Liverpool, so he's very good, and it's good to see him doing well for Liverpool. And in the right side of the defence, I've gone with Danny Rose. I don't think he ever played for Leeds actually, but he was obviously another academy product. He's gone now to obviously went from Leeds to Spurs, where he still is now. England international as well, and he's established himself. I think he's had a few injuries as well now, and in and out the team this season. But I rate him highly. I think he's very good. I think he was tipped with to go to Newcastle in the January transfer window. So I don't know whether who knows where he's going to go. He's going to move on from Spurs in the next tomorrow is deadline day, isn't it? So probably not, but maybe in the summer. In the defensive midfield roles, I've gone for And Fabian Delph again is another academy product of Leeds. He was really burst on the scene in League One, didn't he? And he was brilliant in that side. He was he was just very good. Caught the attention of obviously a few of the Premier League um, clubs. He went on to Villa in the end, but then he came back briefly for a loan spell with us a few years later. But I think he got an injury, so he cut short and he went back. But yeah, he's very good. He's played for obviously played for Man City with Milner. He's got a few Premier League winners medals as well. Obviously now he's gone to Everton in the summer, and I think he's been a bit, reading a few of the comments from Everton. He's not really set the world alight there, but he's a good solid player, and again another England international, and he's done very well. Next to him in the holding midfield roles, I've gone for Lewis Cook. Lewis Cook is obviously another academy product of Leeds. He was playing in the Championship, scored a few really good goals, caught the eye with some really nice performances, and he went on a bit before he should have done, really, for me. I think he should have probably stayed with us for another couple of years, but he ended up going to Bournemouth. Um, and I don't know if it's really worked out for him. He was tipped he got into the England team, didn't he? He got into the squad um, last year, but I don't know whether he's really caught the set the world alight at all in his performances this season. I think he's been in and out of the team again for Bournemouth this year, so I don't really know whether he's doing so well. But in this team, I think the holding midfield road, he would do a good job there. Now on the wing, on the left side, I've gone for Aaron Lennon. Now Aaron Lennon, again, another a theme of this team here is that there is another academy product, burst on the scene when he was very young for Leeds. I think it was really our first sort of end of the Premier League era. This when he burst on the scene. And he played a season in the Championship for us before moving on to Spurs, obviously, and he's done very well with Spurs. Lots of England call-ups again, quite a few, and he's done very well. Obviously played for Everton, and then he's now moved on to Burnley. But obviously he's getting a bit older now, so not as much game time. But I still think he's got that, got the key to unlock defences with, and dribble quickly at people. So he's good. So I've gone for him in the left side. Now in the middle of that shape, I've gone for Ross Barkley. Now people might forget that Ross Barkley played for Leeds, and his time was very very short lived at Leeds. He came on loan, of course, from Everton when Neil Warnock was manager of us, and he didn't play many at all, did he? I think Warnock actually said he wasn't up to the level of Leeds, which was ridiculous because we were mid-lower table Championship at that time. So what can you do? But he's gone on to score, to score a few goals for England as well. Play for England. He seems to be involved very heavily at Chelsea at the moment. So he's very good, and he's still only fairly young. So he's obviously only going to get better. Now on the right side of that three, I've gone for Snodgrass, and Snodgrass was one of my favourite players at Leeds, I must admit. In the League One days when he was just, he was great with Beckford and Becchio, and that whole midfield as well. And he was a fan's favourite, obviously. But then, when the Premier League came calling, he went to Norwich, which seemed, where half of that League One side seemed to end up really with, Becky Howson, Bradley Johnson went as well. So there was lots of that team gone there at that point. Um, then he went from there to Hull, and then he's ended up at West Ham, which is, I think he still plays a bit for West Ham, and that's, he's still at the quality of the Premier League. And there's always that bit where he's sort of involved or rumoured maybe to come back to Leeds in some stages on the transfer windows. But it hasn't materialised. He's, I think, 31 now, so he's getting on a little bit, but still he's got something to offer. So that's why I've put him on the right side of midfield in this 11. Now we come to the strikers. Now there's a few strikers, but not, I wasn't quite sure who to pick, but in the end I went for Chris Wood, of course, which, I can't miss him out, to be honest. He is just, well, he was great. He was great for us, particularly obviously that second season where he scored 27 goals. We should have got the playoffs really that year, but just missed out in 7th place. But he was great, and he can score all kinds of goals. Obviously, he had a previous season with us, which I think he scored 12 goals, so it wasn't too bad. But he was in that season under Gary Monk. He was just unbelievable. I mean, he just all kinds of goals as well. Headers. Poacher goals, some penalties as well in there. He was just brilliant, and obviously, but when he started the 17-18 season, I think he scored a goal against Bolton on the opening day, and we won 3-2. But then he went to Burnley, which it's the Premier League. You can't really blame him for that, and he's done really well. He struck up quite a partnership with Ashley Barnes there, so he's done very well, Chris Wood, to be fair. And I think we were crying out for a player of that quality now in the team. Obviously Bamford got a couple of goals, didn't he, on Tuesday, which he stepped up. Now we've got Augustin coming, but I think the team could do with a player with the quality of Chris Wood in there at the moment, but hopefully we can supply the goals in the months to come. With Bamford, I think Bamford will step up now, and hopefully Augustin will come with some of the potential that he obviously has. And score goals for us in this league, which some people would suggest that he is a lot better than the Championship. So let's see what he can do. Hopefully starting with Saturday and home against Wigan. And anyway, enough of that, and we'll carry on with the list with this 11. So partnering him up front, I've gone with Billy Sharp. It was a bit of a tricky one. I was going to put Nketiah in there, but I thought Billy Sharp he was rubbish for us, to be fair, but I think he's just got that, he has got quality. He's a good old-fashioned striker, I think, and if, he was to partner Chris Wood up front in obviously he does in my imaginary team, but if he was to in real life, I think he would do very well with Chris Wood. I think it'd be quite a lethal partnership, to be fair, because Billy Sharp got plenty of goals in the Championship last season for Sheffield United, obviously. Not played that much of a big part this time round while they're in the Premiership, but he was obviously heavily tipped to come to Leeds maybe in the in this window, which he obviously hasn't, and their manager Chris Wilder kept saying, well, no, he's not going anywhere and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'd have taken him at this point in our team, in our current team. When he did play for us, he was rubbish though. think he only scored something like 7 goals. I mean, he was the one that I can remember is that one when David Hockaday won his one and only game in charge against Middlesbrough at Ellen Road. That keeper saved it and he just poked it in and we won 1-0, and that's, I think I think he scored 7, but he wasn't that good for us really. But I've gone with him in this 11 anyway. So yeah, that's it. So that's my team. Put down any in the comments, and put down what you think. What you think of that team, and any suggestions that you have for your own teams. I mean, there are a few players that I haven't mentioned. Obviously I'm mentioning Nketiah, but there's Sam Byram, Peacock Farrell, and there's a few others. So yeah, I mean it's, I'll be interested to see who you guys pick. And this is my first video, so if you liked it, subscribe, and there'll be more content coming. And thanks a lot. Let's hope we win Saturday. Marching on together.